Are we ready? The regular meeting, I call this regular meeting of the Park Board Commissioners agenda and order of business Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023. This meeting will be held at City Council Hearing Room, beginning at 5:30 PM. Is there any citizen input?
Nope.
Okay.
You have citizen input, well, you're on the agenda, so you don't have citizen input.
Okay.
But unless he wants to do citizen input first, and
It's all, no, it's all good, that's,
It's all-
agenda's fine. That's good, that's all
All right. Roll call, commissioners?
BJ McDonald.
Well, actually, sorry. I gotta do the open meeting law, I apologize. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video or recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting throughout any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Sorry about that. Commissioners, roll call.
BJ McDonald.
Amber Burns.
Victor Farias?
Helen Rigo?
Joseph De Silva. Okay. I need acceptance of the minutes for June 7th and July 5th.
Make a motion to accept?
Second.
Commissioner Rego made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Burns. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Farias is asking us to make a motion to take item K out of order. Do I have a motion to do this?
Make a motion to take it out of order.
Item K, you have a second?
Second.
Commissioner McDonald made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Rego. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item K is a request from Michelle Hamilton, Veteran Service Officer, for the use of Veterans Memorial Bicentennial Park, Duval Street, on September 15th for MIA POW event at 1 PM. This is an annual event, correct?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. Making a motion approved by Commissioner Burns, so I have a second.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Rego. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so I have a motion, so I need a motion to go back into regular item A.
Make a motion back to regular meeting.
Item A. Commissioner Rego, Farias made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Rego. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item A is a request from Tim Cabral / Fall River Girls Softball League Board of Directors regarding obtaining permits for Dumont Field, Brogan Boulevard, to establish a girls softball program. Anybody here for that? Come on up. Just state your names and addresses for the record, please. Everybody from Fall River? Okay, we're gonna have to waive the rules. I have a motion to waive the rules.
Make a motion to waive the rules.
Commissioner Burns, second by Commissioner Rego. All in favor, say aye.
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 Hi, John Ferrera, 21 Coral Street, Fall River.
Peter Martin, 249 Lawton Street in Somerset.
Tim couldn't be here, he's stuck at work. He's gonna try to get here, he might be a little late. Reason we're here, we were here probably about 5-6 years ago prior to COVID. Just to give you a little bit about myself, I'm the president of the Fall River Girls Softball League. Peter's my vice president. I'm also the varsity girls softball coach at Durfee, and Peter's my assistant coach. We've over the years we've tried to. We all come from Somerset. I had a program in Somerset. I lived there, and I was the president of the league in South Complex Water Tank for 11 years. We moved up. Pete did the same thing with his daughters. Just so happens we all had daughters, so it was girls, girls, girls. But did that. Then when I took over the position here at Durfee, that's when I brought my travel program over, Mass Titans, and tried to incorporate and get some more interest in the sport from local girls. I mean, I drive around, you go to any baseball field, you see a ponytail. It's like, what's she doing there? She belongs in softball. They can't play it, and they can't play baseball in middle school, and they can't play in high school. So, but that was their only outlet. Since then, I've been at Durfee now 13 years. Since I started at Durfee, I think probably 12 years ago, I started a middle school program. I called it the Intercity League. We've got 6 middle schools in the city, and it was a way to try to get girls, before they got to Durfee, because I'd get girls at Durfee never played it, but trying out for teams, and it just, they weren't, they didn't have the ability. So now with the middle school programs, with all 6 schools, we generally have 4 to 6 schools that can participate and field a team. We do that every Saturday morning. I go down, I run, we have a double header, and I get to see what the girls look like, and see some are more advanced, some play travel ball for different clubs and such. It gives me an idea who I have coming up to Durfee, hopefully, because it's not always that they go to Durfee. I'll look at 5 kids, and some will go to Diamond, some will go to, well, they used to go to Bishop Conley. You got School of Choice, which they can pick anywhere, and I might end up with 1 girl. So we were here, like I said, probably about 5-6 years ago prior to COVID, requesting, we were showing some interest in the Cupolo Field on Broadway. At the time, it was just Pete and myself, and the numbers just really weren't there, cooperation and such. Since then, the program has evolved immensely. We just had tryouts last Wednesday, and that was just for 10s, 12s, and 14s. We had over 60 girls there, which is great. It is just to try to draw attention to them and try to get the girls. I had girls showing up with all Maplewood shirts and stuff, and like, okay, finally, I'm drawing them out of the woodwork. They're finally coming to where they belong. But we just haven't had a place. We've been at Cuss, practicing there. That's been our field. We coordinate that, and problem being, my field at Durfee finally just got completed, and next year will be the first year that we actually play on that in 5 years. We've been busted back and forth. Yeah, to Cuss to play the varsity games. When I started there, we had a freshman, JV, and a varsity team. About 4 or 5 years ago, we lost a freshman. Last year, we didn't have enough girls for a JV. So I'm down to just a varsity team, which means I got to take whoever is there, whether they're capable or not. We've got a field now. I don't know if any of you have gone by Durfee and seen it, but our field is better than any field, college, or anything in the area. It's absolutely gorgeous. And here I am, next year I probably won't even have a pitcher, which, is kind of sad. But again, we've got, with Tim on board, we've got a lot of young parents, which is great. That's how I started. My daughter started when there was 7 and down, and, I knew I was in there for 20 years, and I was. I've been doing it for 26. But we've got some younger parents now, and it's just exploding. Right now, we've got our 18s trying out over at Cuss. Tomorrow, we've got our 16s trying out at Cuss. So we were looking for a place to kind of call home, let's say. And with the 3 fields down there, we spoke to the president of the baseball league. I don't know if you've got that in front of you. She sent a letter, which I appreciate. She highly recommended that we take over, and so that the girls would have
Just give
something.
me 1 second. Just to let you know, we got a letter from the president of Florida National Baseball, which Mr. Smith will put it part of the record.
Okay, I believe I have that one. And I think you have a copy of the letter that we submitted to the board, letting you know what our goals and our hopes were. It's been vacant for 2 years. We do a lot of fundraising, as far as repairing the fields and upgrading it to where it needs to be. The bones are all there. I mean, it's just small modifications and upgrades, some fencing that needs to be corrected, which we would handle all of that through our fundraising efforts. But we just need a place to call home, and we just need a place for girls. There's nothing in the city for girls. For softball, there's nothing. The only time you're going to find a girl playing softball is baseball. That's it. Because that's, and it's a shame, especially for us at the high school level, not having the talent that we should. We've got over 2,000 kids at Durfee. I can barely field a varsity team. You go to Case, they got 700. They just won the states this year because of a farm system. And I know because I was part of it. I was part of Somerset, who did very well also in the tournament this year.
Well, if you can.
That's our goals for Durfee.
If you can change something on the birth record, you can probably get Commissioner Burns to come out of retirement.
All right.
Come on, kids.
Yeah,
Next
all
year,
right.
she was an alumnus.
State
at
champion.
PAL.
Oh, yeah?
We can do
She
that.
played at Ruggles for years at PAL, so.
All right, so
I can
call
probably get
Cory
my
Mata.
I could probably get the two sister-in-laws too to coach
right.
the girls.
And you want to stay
Dorian
with
girls.
Durfee? So Coach Wadowski, yeah, which he's come back to. Well, he's come back to help us as well. And you must have played for Cory Mata. Matas, who was the coach?
Oh God, I had everyone.
How long ago?
Don't tell him,
I
Amber.
was
I noticed I didn't say how old I am. I just said how long
Don't tell him,
ago.
Amber. We'll figure it out.
But
I think
yeah,
when when my sister-in-laws played, it was the woman.
Yeah,
She
I
was
was
the
gonna say I
coach.
had.
She had the woman, the
I can't
woman
remember her name.
coach.
It's been that long.
but Ruggles closed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ruggles has folded. That was the last good team I had at Durfee.
Yep.
You know, it was the program coming out of there. We don't have that. We've lost that. We've lost the numbers. We've lost the the rec. You know, which we'll do a little bit of rec. Just to draw some of the girls out. But Commissioner Burns knows as well as we do. You know, once they're in there, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yep.
And travel is you play travel. I'm assuming no, you just played rec and wow, cool. But yeah, and travel is a great experience for the girls. I mean, I've taken teams down to ESPN, played at in Disney at Wide World of Sports. Great experience for the girls. We've taken them for 5 years. We've taken them to Myrtle Beach in the Nationals, played down there. Last time we went, Coach Pete came in second. Just a great, and I tell the girls, I said, you're not going to remember the score of any game, and you probably wouldn't, but you'll remember everybody you played with. And it's the friendships and the camaraderie and all of that goes along with it. I tell my girls and I told them all along, it's the memories. That's all it's for. So I guess that's all I can give you. If anyone has any questions, I'd be more than.
Do you have any questions?
I guess my only question is like historically, and that's probably more of a question for Nancy, is I don't know how that plays out as far as fixing the field. Where that responsibility lies with the city versus the league.
Just like with the others, we would probably require that they have a liability policy to come on the property that covers both themselves and the city of Fall River. So they would have to provide that liability policy
We have that.
to do that.
Yeah, we've already
You-
got
You would just probably have to add.
Yeah,
city
as
of
additional
Fall River,
insured.
Town of
Okay.
Somerset,
Yeah,
like
additional
everything
insured,
required,
Yeah.
So, and then after that, it would be, basically, if they're doing the repairs themselves, we just ask for a heads up. They're gonna be
Notifications.
on the field at such and such a day, so, we don't get phone calls from the neighbors going, hey, there's some guy tearing down the fences out there, we know. And that, most times, they would either communicate via email if it isn't something that can get to this board through, in a timely manner. But for the most part, they would say, and I'm sure they would know, this is what we're planning on
Yeah.
doing, first steps, blah, 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 and they can come before the board.
Yeah, we
Board
would
has
always
never
notify the
rejected
board or Nancy and say,
Yeah.
listen,
The board
we're
has
interested
never
in
No, I-
painting the dugouts.
Any organization that wants to improve the fields, we let them do it, as long as we, the only thing that we ask is that they don't get into these big giant projects, because we had that before where we don't wanna be left halfway with the project half done, and then it doesn't get completed. But that's not something that happens a lot. We just like to just safeguard against that. So we just like to know what kind of projects are coming before us. The board gives them their blessing, and they go about their business, just
The
like
other-
any other league.
Other question I had was, you done?
Yes.
Other questions, 5013C?
In
Hey,
the process,
and-
yes.
You're in
Yeah,
process.
completing that right now.
And I know you said fundraising, do you have the state solicitation for the?
Well, Tim is gonna be in charge of all the fundraising. Tim is the one that heads up the, a Day of Portugal and a lot of these functions. So Tim is gonna be handling a lot of the fundraising efforts, along with, some different companies that we all know. I'm a contractor, he's in business and Tim's in business, so we know a lot of folks. And just, knocking on some doors and saying, hey, help out here a little bit. And,
Just so you guys know, because like I know the prior league, they were like tied in with the little leagues and everything, but they never had lights there, and years ago, it was to offset them paying lights, they got to hang banners and raise money.
correct.
But they never had lights there, so they should have never been part of that, but that's
Yeah,
before and that, but if you're gonna do that, we're gonna need that certificate to be hanging any banners and everything there.
Okay.
Okay?
so any banners in the outfield?
Yeah, work with Nancy
Yeah, that's
on
fine,
that.
that's fine,
Okay.
that's not a problem.
And she'll get you exactly what you guys need to get. Okay.
Again, we've worked, you know, with Somerset being present there, and, you know, we were familiar, trying to, also get in with the cupola, like I said, back then, so we pretty much know the process and know the expectations of the board, and everything comes through you folks before we go ahead, and, I mean, if we're gonna paint a dugout, you know, what color you gonna paint it? You know, I don't wanna driving by 24, see these pink dugouts.
Well, we just dropped off what, did they do 'em?
They did do them, but
Last
they're probably
year-
painting the building for
Yeah,
green paint.
last year we
Yeah.
just gave them 16 gallons, I think, of the green paint that, because they were painted blue, them dugouts should all be the green. And then
Dugouts
we-
should be green.
Yeah, that's what the official color is, green on the outside and everything, and the electrical boxes are blue or gray.
Like bluish gray.
Yeah.
building. Bluish
So-
gray buildings indicate to public safety that there's electrical in
Mhm.
there. You know, panels, like I mean, there's electricity in our buildings as well. But what they do is it's usually park buildings, park dugouts are that forest green, and the other buildings are whatever, the grayish blue.
Whatever you folks
Yeah.
deem necessary, that's what we'll do.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
They just painted them, so I don't think they're crazy.
Um,
Keep them green for a while.
So now that we got this letter, are you gonna work with, since,
I think that the board can, I think what they're looking for
Mhm.
is the vote of the board to
Yep.
move forward,
yep,
Right.
and they will provide whatever is necessary. I'll work with them to provide whatever is necessary for
Yep.
them to move forward with
Yep.
any improvements they're gonna make, or
Mhm.
any type of, you know, the fundraising thing at this point,
Yep.
you know, I try to stay out of until it does involve park properties. When you
Mhm.
do on the outside, it's like, I don't wanna know about what,
Yep.
the banner situation comes to us because the fundraising is being done
On property, yeah.
property.
Yep.
So that's where we have to get involved.
That's not a problem.
So,
I think the first thing that we wanna do is get in there and take the dirt out of the infields, cause girls
Yeah.
softball, you play on dirt, so we'd rip the infield out. Tim has a special machine that he could do that with, and we'd get volunteers down there to do
is
that.
this Sam, you wanna come up?
Oh, there he is.
Sorry.
Just grab one and,
yeah, so basically, when are you guys planning to go in so this board can give you?
Tomorrow.
No, but I mean, this way they can say, you know, you have our permission to go in.
Would say
If
as
you're
soon
looking
as-
to do a
As soon as you
fall
can,
thing,
we'd like to
then-
practice there, so we
Yeah.
could have a place where we can, you know, start getting the girls familiar with the fields, and we can get familiar with the fields, check out, you know, the bathrooms, the concession stand, see what needs a little improving, what doesn't. Keys, whoever has the keys, which.
Well, the first step, I'll be honest with you, is we're gonna probably have to contact that league
That-
that is
that's
saying
what I
they're
was gonna say.
vacating the property,
Yep.
because I'm sure she probably has a lot of items in that
She did
building.
tell me that there's some stuff to go through and that she has the keys, and she even asked if she can store some stuff there a little bit while we're there, and we said, that's not an
Right, but
issue. so.
there's where the problem starts. She's not supposed to ask you if she
Right,
can store
that's
this right
you.
there. This has been
Got
an ongoing situation. So if there's an issue of something that's gonna stay stored there, that has to come
Okay.
here,
Well, I'll let her know.
unfortunately. I mean,
I will
I'm
let her
just
know.
trying to not get you guys.
No, I don't blame you,
in the
you
middle
guys
of
make the call.
a crossfire.
If it's gonna switch, it's gonna switch.
Yeah, I mean,
was gonna say,
because I
don't
think
there
if
should be anything
the
there.
keys as well, you know, we used to say, we don't want anything to do with the keys. The board now has said, and the buildings department, and that we want keys to these properties.
Oh, of
Because
course.
before we
Yeah,
were like,
makes sense.
listen, we don't wanna get accused of taking your Gatorade, but at
We
this
keep-
point.
Going in
we
the
keep
snack
track,
shack and
too.
taking out food.
But at this point, it's like if there's an emergency, we don't even have a key to get in your
Correct,
building.
yeah.
So we're trying to correct that with leagues that have had this in the past where we just said, okay, you got the building hands off.
Yep.
So we're trying to correct that at this point. So when you get these keys, which technically, I'll be honest with you, should take the actual process, I have no, do it the way you're doing it, but if we were technically following the rules, the keys should come back to here. and
Correct,
then
then,
the keys
then
should go back
issue to us,
you.
yeah, and that's
Because we
fine.
should be able to go into that building and.
First, and look at
Let's
it,
see
yeah.
what's going on in this building.
Yep,
Is
yep,
this
yep, yep.
building up to par? Has this building been abused? Whatever that, it shouldn't go, because now you guys go, well, we didn't do that.
Well, I was just gonna say that, because by that, with us taking the keys, we can say, well, she destroyed the place.
Exactly.
And it could have been
Like,
us.
It's not fair to
But
you,
it-
it's not fair to her.
You
So
can witness
I
the
really
condition
think-
of it and then
I really
hand it
think,
over.
in all honesty, the keys should come to the park department.
Absolutely.
The park department should go in there, inspect the building, or the
Yep.
building department, whatever, and then say, we're ready to pass the keys on to you.
Absolutely.
Now, whether this board lets her store whatever it is there, that's something that should be addressed with this board, not with you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that anything from the previous person should be left in there, cause then, like, if something goes missing,
Sure.
or if something's damaged, it's just too much. And then also, these are like the special city keys that you can't duplicate, correct?
No, these buildings don't have those kind of
Okay,
keys.
so would that be something that we would need to just rekey it then at that point?
That's the board's decision. That's the board's decision. If you wanna do non-duplicating keys and you go, okay, your league gets 5 keys, A through E, that's what I do, I label the keys. Your league gets 5 keys, A through E, they come in, they sign for the permit. Now you know the keys are not being duplicated. And
Yeah.
you have 50 keys out there.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be my suggestion is
The board makes the rules.
do you need the building like,
No.
are you planning on doing concessions right now?
Yeah.
No, right
Some-
now,
right now.
no, right now, right
At some point,
Yeah.
but I was gonna say, I know they have a couple of baseball, like pitching things,
Yeah,
or
pitcher machines and nets and stuff.
that are in the outfield and that, so that, and some in the dugouts, when we went there for our tour. And then I know, obviously, they have the concession stand. So that equipment, I would say, let's get that equipment out of there and
Well,
that.
I can touch base with the husband, cause
Yeah,
that's who is,
Yes.
my contact at this point,
Yeah.
Chris.
And then have them get that stuff off the field and that. And my suggestion is, let's have new keys made, cause you don't know if they
From
give a key
anyone from
back.
their previous.
Right, exactly.
I
You
think
don't know
that's
who
a
has,
good
and then
plan.
they put their equipment in, and something becomes missing
Yeah.
out where and
I guess they still have like a senior team going and an AAU team going, so,
They use a Lafayette
all
Park,
right, okay.
so.
Right.
And again, through this process, all we're looking for is to be able to practice on the
Exactly.
fields. And maybe dig up, like Pete said, the infield, we can play with some of that stuff while you folks are taking care of the
Right,
other
so
stuff.
right now, while we work out the logistics of
Yep.
emptying the building and getting the keys in order, you
Mm-hmm.
guys are looking for permission to be able to access the
Mm-hmm.
property.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
whatever you need to do. Now, there's probably electrical in that building that you're
Yep.
gonna need to access, I would think. We'll
We can
try
use
to-
a
I mean, if we need
we can
to.
use a
We'll try to
generator if
speed
we
We can
have
bring
to.
generators if we
up.
have to.
You have the letter to us tonight, they're gonna accept that letter. We'll try to speed this process up of getting the keys back and them vacating the premises of whatever they have in there. I mean, they're gonna have to put it somewhere, because if you guys
Yep.
weren't moving in there, we wouldn't let them store that if they were
Right.
gonna have a leak, so.
My
No
thing
matter
is,
what.
the biggest thing right now, once we vote, is just getting your policy, liability policy, say the city of
Yep,
Fall River.
not a
Get it to
problem.
her so we can get the permit to use.
We can have that for her.
Yeah, and
So-
right now, you don't, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have practice and games, then that's what I will permit to you, but as far as what, the work you're doing on the field, just let us know, and it's email, this
okay.
is what we're doing, this is what our proposed schedule is,
Yeah.
Sounds
send
good.
it in.
Yeah, and again, like I said, it would just be the infields to get it ready for the girls, we'll probably buy new bases and such.
Paint the fence eventually black if
Yeah.
we could.
Yeah, we'll let,
Yeah,
some
just
love.
dress it up.
But
give it
everything
some
will,
love.
everything would go through you folks, we'd contact Nancy, then Nancy would pass it on to.
Commissioner Burns?
No, I was just gonna make the motion,
Yeah.
but, so I make a motion that we approve, they work with Nancy, all that good stuff. Any cosmetic things that you wanna go through, let Nancy know, just in case, like Joey said, if there's certain colors. All the policies will go through Nancy, and then on the flip side, if Nancy could contact Mr. Vining and let him know that, or give him like some sort of a deadline to get that stuff out,
Well, that's, you make the deadline, I give the deadline.
30 days.
is that too long?
Well, what kind of stuff does he have in there? Is he gonna be, I mean, are those big pitching machines, are those easy to unload, or is it like, somebody will take those? I don't know.
That they probably have some uniforms left over in there, like basic concessions things. They have their concessions machines. I don't know if the city owns them or they
Yeah,
don't.
does the city own any of the
Yeah, who owns
concession
that
equipment?
stuff?
I don't think so.
I'll be honest with you, I think they could have gone back from so many years,
Sure.
turned over league after league
Because-
after
because
league. I don't
normally-
know. I have no idea, so I
Norm-
would say no.
Normally in a concession stand like that, you would have to, you'd be limited to what you could use because you did need a food, somebody with a food handler's license in order to handle any grease and
Right,
stuff.
so
That's
we-
why we've always used convection ovens that are self-contained, and anybody can use it. You throw the fries in there, you shut the door, and it pops out. You know, burgers, hot dogs, all the same
I
thing.
think the league used to sell a lot of just prepackaged
Snacks.
stuff.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah,
prepackaged.
I agree.
All right, then we'll give them 30 days to get everything out of there, and then they'll return the keys to you. And then from there, we can inspect, make new keys, and then give them new keys.
And in the meantime, you guys can access the field to
Yep.
do whatever you need to do.
Sounds good.
I just want to add that we change them locks. I want new locks.
When we rekey it,
Yeah,
right?
that's what,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's what.
rekey it.
So once we get the
I'm saying I don't want
keys-
same key.
Yeah, no, I
No,
said
you
that, I was like,
can't, for non-duplicating keys, you
well, it
can't use
doesn't, I
that
was gonna
lock.
say, it doesn't have to be non-duplicate, I just don't think it should be the same
Yeah.
lock, because
Yeah.
if someone else has those keys, and I know the non-duplicating are really expensive, so that's the other part.
Well,
where-
I think that there's a good side and a bad side to that, because the non-duplicating keys, we can keep track of the keys, and what that does is, it does have accountability. At the end of the season, we go, okay, your permit's over.
Give me about 5
Give
keys
me
back.
5 keys, like I do with the soccer league. This
Right.
guy gets A, this guy gets B, this guy gets C, and they sign for the key. What it says is, if you lose your keys, you are responsible to rekey all those locks, not the city of Fall River. So that protects the city as far as the keys.
We're good with whatever
Yeah.
you decide.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good, I think we should, really, I'll be honest with you, I think we
It's
should
for everyone's
start doing
protection.
non-duplicating keys
Yeah.
for all our properties
Yeah.
that we give
Yeah.
out, because he could have a disgruntled guy that leaves his league, and he's got a key now.
Yeah, just
I do.
add that to the motion, that it's,
Okay,
that,
and then when we rekey it, that it's a non-duplicating key.
Second.
Commissioner Burns made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Regal. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good luck.
We have one stipulation, though. Commissioner Burns has to come and help out.
No, and she needs to come play for our 18-plus team next year.
There you go. Thank you, folks.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
guys.
She just can't vote on stuff anymore.
Thank you, have a good night.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Who was the second, I'm sorry.
Regal. All right, item B, request from Mike Pereira for the use of Britland Park basketball courts, Wardell Street, on Friday, August 11th, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., rain date August 12th, for a hot shot competition for ages 10 to 17 years old and 18 in adults. This is, I think, our annual event. Do I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
Commissioner Farris made that motion, seconded by Commissioner McDonald. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item C, information from the Fall River Garden Club regarding the planting a tree and other, or other plantings in the Kennedy Park garden at the Pavilion area of Broadway. This is just an update for us that she switched the tree around that we
It's
requested.
actually funny, I was on a walk the other day and I went by one of the original,
Yep.
like, trees that she wanted, this is so messy. But I make a motion to accept and place on file.
Second that?
Well, I guess you can motion that you accept that tree, actually.
Oh,
I would do it
I
that
make
way.
a motion that I accept the tree.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Commissioner Burns made that motion, who seconded it?
I did.
Seconded by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item D, request from Jack Hackett to extend their permit to include a wooden bat fall league at Father Kelly Park, Globe Street. Guess that was a typo,
Yeah.
sorry. From September 9th to November
I
18th.
can't wait to call you out, Joey.
No, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like Globe Street, where is that?
Have we gotten any complaints this year?
Not yet.
Now we will.
Amber,
Oh
please.
my goodness. No, I'm being
Well, I think
realistic, cause
they
I don't wanna
usually-
extend it if people are
No, I
writing
think
in
they
like
use the
complaining.
wood bats, which may, it does 1,000% increase the power from an aluminum bat that
Yeah.
you're playing softball, so.
Well,
So far,
We've come so far, I'm so proud.
If they do, I'm gonna set up the meeting, and then I'm gonna make sure I'm off that day, and Commissioner Burns is here.
No,
Yes, yes.
I will have the flu.
All right,
this is
do I have a
something he
motion to
normally
accept
does.
this?
Motion to accept,
Commissioner Burns made that
Second.
motion. Seconded by Commissioner McDonald. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye. Item E, request from James Crossan, add additional concerns from the pickleball group, pickleball courts on Bay Street.
He wanted the lights till 9:30, right? Which we can't do.
Yeah,
Not
city
much.
ordinance is 9 o'clock. All
Yeah.
parks are closed.
Parks close at 9, those lights are off at 9, at 9:15 is,
Yep.
the parking lot.
I make a motion that you tell them no.
So I did, just so the board knows, I did send an email to Mr. Crossen, and did I copy you on it? No, I didn't.
I think you sent us the thread though afterwards.
I think I might have, yes. So, I informed him that, what was in city ordinance. I also informed him that, we would have the tree department see if they could do anything with that tree. If not, we gotta see if we can outsource to take those, but they are in front of it. I can't say that I've been there at night to see what the shadowing is on the courts. I can do that. We can trim them back. And the other thing was I had asked for specific dates, but so far I guess he hasn't worked it out with the people, incorporated, because I haven't received the specific dates that they wanted to work with.
So as for the tree cutting down, I mean, does that come out of your budget? How does that work?
Mine or the tree department budget, I guess they have we would have to outsource that. So we have a contract with a company, and I don't know whether we could get it to come out.
Got it.
with that. But you can see the branches are, do
Maybe.
jut out where the lights would project down. I mean, I don't know, but like I said, I'll have to make it a point to go there at night and see how much of
Maybe we can get some ARPA funding.
an issue it is. I mean, I think if it's just, you know, the trees are overhanging it, and sometimes that can be an issue. I think why they really want the trees trimmed is because when it rains, a lot of stuff falls out of those trees onto the courts. And we are having a drainage issue there coming down from the back of where there used to be a volleyball area. So we do have a couple of issues there, but we try to stay on top of it. When it really, really rains heavy, we gotta go with a power washer and wash off an area of those courts. But for now, addressing his concerns, we are in the process of addressing his concerns. You know, we can trim the tree. If it were in front of a baseball light, I guess we've trimmed them before, so I can see what it's gonna cost. The lights are, the tree is pretty high, cause I know that originally the tree department did raise all the branches up. So we did point that out on day one, actually, but we'll see what we can do. But I'll get a price and I can bring it back to the board if you want.
Yes, please.
And that's it, right? So
Yeah.
the lights go off at 9, you'll find out about the tree, and he's gonna let you know when he wants to have a
The
event
dates,
with
yeah,
People
for
Inc.
Work with People Incorporated, yeah.
Okay,
So you can just accept and place on file knowing that we're addressing it.
Make a motion to accept and place on file.
Second.
Commissioner McDonald made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Regal. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item F, request from Brenda Ritz to the tree department to request a Latimer family tree be allowed at the area being designated for their family monument. Dedication on September 23rd. Chris, you wanna come up and speak on this?
So Chris, I guess there are two questions, is A, can the tree department pay for the tree?
Yes, we actually have that, type of tree, that we didn't have a place to put at the time, so it's been, we've had it stored for a little bit. But we can certainly, it's a Yoshino cherry. And we do have it, so I don't have a problem with, putting that into the cemetery.
And the lot, and the area can accommodate that tree?
Yes.
So that's both questions, I would think.
All right.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Commissioner McDonald made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Burns. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just one thing, Chris,
Yes.
in the future, just have everything come through you, please.
Okay, very
you.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item G, request from Mary Ann Snooki, I'm sorry, Sanaki, I apologize. City Block Health Event change date from Griffin Park, Fort Street, requesting date for the event to be changed from August 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
I mean, do we have anything else on that day in that area?
And we already approved it for, so motion to approve?
Motion to approve the new date.
Second.
Second, Commissioner McDonald made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Burns. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item H, information for the Forever Arts Project regarding a start date of August 13th to paint the mural of on Kennedy Park Maintenance Building, Bradford Avenue.
Good evening. Chandler Hearn, Bay Street, Fall River.
Katrina Myers, Bay Street, Fall River.
All right.
Yes, so we've been up to that area all the time. Met with Chris from R&L regarding the man lift. Got the numbers for that. I think we'd like to do 1 week, starting on the 14th, which takes us to the 19th, to rent the lift. We have it pretty well broken down with our projector, how we want to go out in the evening when it was kind of darker, be able to put the points on, come back, roll all the hard color, basically it's all green and blue, come back through, do brush work for all the black lines, and the kind of the clay color of the paths, and then come back through and do the detail work, block off the white where the photographs are gonna be. So it's pretty much gonna be probably 3 day works and 2 night works. And I know there was possibly an issue with working in the dark, which we need to be able to project onto the bill. We have the projector and we have the little 2200 inverter, quiet generator. I mean, it's like about as loud as I'm talking. And
What time of night are you talking?
it just as long as it's dark. So this time, I'd say if we could do like a cut it by midnight, right? Or I mean, wouldn't
Can't have you in the park after 9 o'clock.
That's a city
Well,
order.
you
I-
can give it,
We-
you
we
can
can do
give them
that?
permission,
Okay, okay.
but I don't know that I would go to midnight. I think
Yeah.
I would take you
Yeah,
to
that's-
10
11.
Would it be better to start at like 3 a.m.
No.
and go that?
No.
I mean, because what we need is a block of time where it's dark, as
Can
opposed
you end by
to
11? Because we've given
we
permits
could,
out
but
to-
then we'd be doing it every night. We'd like to get it done instead of getting 1 hour in.
No, I'm saying from dark, say 7 to 11 p.m. rather than till midnight.
It doesn't really get dark until like 8:30, right?
Because the problem is.
Especially 'cause the
what
sun
is it, 10
sets.
o'clock or 11 o'clock is noise pollution,
It's 11.
11, and then you're gonna end up having neighbors call police and everything.
I mean, pushing paint is pretty
No,
silent,
but
and
it's
it's.
even if you think the generator is not loud, guaranteed someone's gonna
Yeah,
call.
someone's gonna.
I mean, it's
Someone will call.
a tenth of a car driving down
Especially now
Bedford.
that this is being recorded, somebody's gonna go by there. Guaranteed, I'm telling you.
I hear ya. If, you know, if it,
Guaranteed.
yes, any, yeah. So there's no way to.
This pictures, what kind of pictures of people you're putting up there?
Yeah,
Do you
there's.
have their permission?
Well, it's.
This is
That's
the-
Helen,
the-
There's
this is-
certain ways, there's certain times you
No, no,
have
no.
to have.
Helen, this is the, what you call it,
Olmsted.
The Olmsted mural.
He's
Right,
been
but what
he's been
you-
past a
right,
couple
but
hundred years
What
now.
Helen said, and I think what someone had told Helen, is the pictures copyrighted.
No, they're not. No,
Oh.
they're what do you call it?
Public domain.
Public
So
domain.
they're public
Yeah.
domain pictures.
It's like pictures of Fall River
Yes.
from back in like the
Yeah, no, as
1800s.
long
I
as-
was asking.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Good call.
All right.
Yes.
We can figure that out.
Helen, you
Well,
don't
yeah,
want,
I would
you don't want
say-
your picture up there?
I would say, I mean, I'm not gonna come by at 5:11.
City
I got you.
You don't wanna get
You know,
blamed for
we-
that
we
When
either.
you
can-
say 12 becomes 1.
And painting can be like that, but we
By the time you
can.
close it
Good.
down.
I was
If
gonna
we
say,
just
really,
mark
like, yeah.
points, if
Yeah,
we can just
so-
like mark points quick, then we'll know where everything is.
Right.
We'll know, it's not a huge wall and it's not a
Right, I mean,
hyper
I think,
complicated
you
piece.
know, you kinda gotta figure in your breakdown and
Yeah.
that kind of thing, but I think we have not permitted out the park, to my knowledge, past 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I know that you're not having bands and whatever.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
The point of it all is,
Yeah,
once we do that,
yep,
we're now on the hook. They go, well, you let it go to
Yeah.
12 for that, so.
Yeah.
yep.
I think by us saying to you, our deadline to you is 11 o'clock.
Yep.
I think the other
We
thing.
hope you followed the rules.
I hear you.
Do
I-
you guys
I get
have
you.
like a set schedule of when you would, like, if you have the lift for those amount of days, do you have which day, what times you'll be working?
Yeah, that would be, yeah, that's the Monday, the 14th.
Well, you don't have to tell me right now. I just
Okay,
think that
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
we
we
could
said
do,
in
we
the
could give you a
agenda.
breakdown
Yeah,
this,
but then
this
also like
coming
if
week.
there's, per chance, like, if
Because
they're
if it
doing a
rains,
food.
now you're.
Oh,
you're
let's
lost
hope it
there.
doesn't rain
No,
that
but
week.
I mean,
Usually-
I'm just saying.
It's
so
true,
now-
no, it's true,
So your
it's true.
schedule will be, Monday, tentatively, we're gonna be there till 11. Tuesday, we might be out of there by 9, I'm just,
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm just randomly.
But then
throwing
that
out
helps you
numbers.
if you get a call because you know that he's
Or
there.
you, because
Right.
listen, you guys, are gonna, and I'll say, listen, this is the schedule that was submitted.
mhm,
Granted, it's subject to change because of weather, but I can forward it out to everyone on this board, so if someone happens to get a phone call and to the other departments, like, DPW, whatever, if someone happens to get a phone call, we go, oh no, we know they're there, they're doing this. They'll be done by such and such a time tonight. So I think that's a good idea,
Yeah.
to have that
So the
schedule,
schedule,
we
but
know-
then also make sure that, like, not that it would necessarily, like, get in their way, but make sure if there's like an event, or if there's like a food pantry, or anything like that, that may be happening in the same
Well, the
area.
feast will come in at, right, that's, I did mention that to her. The
I was gonna
feast
say, I
comes
know,
in-
Following week.
like, we have our event on the 19th. So that will very much be extremely busy over there. So if you were thinking of doing anything on the 19th, I don't know if that, cause there, like, 2,000 to 3,000 people show up over there. Like, it's a very large event, so we're on the other side of Kennedy, but people park on that side and then walk, so, so
Well,
that was.
hopefully it'll be completed for
Yeah.
your group to enjoy, but
definitely.
And then the last thing is, where are you guys leaving the lift?
That's another question we
That's one
have
of the
for you guys.
questions that we have.
they can leave it there. Do we have it, does it have to go up in the air? How does that work, Charlie, when they leave a piece of equipment?
You have a cord, I think, an extension of piggy tail, and you usually lift it, disconnect the piggy tail.
Yeah,
How do you lift it if you're not on it?
From the
from
bottom.
the bottom.
There's a thing on
So
the bottom,
I'm
okay.
sure it has.
I've only ever been on the one that's
Insurance
like at
that
the
you
top.
can get for that,
Yes.
please get it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
number one.
Actually, the insurance for the lift comes with the lift, and then we are also getting secondary insurance
Yeah.
for the project.
Yeah.
And we'll get all that
Yeah,
paperwork to
I
you.
mean, they've left things like that in different
Yeah.
properties, but you need to secure it, like, yeah.
Now,
Thank you.
And then just like work with them, to, like, of what spot you want them to leave it to, 'cause you
Of
don't want
course,
them to
yeah,
leave,
not gonna
like-
block someone in or
leave it,
something
like,
like that.
on
We'll
the
definitely have
sidewalk or-
Yeah, they
communication.
can leave it on the side of the building, they can, leave it, that's what I'm assuming you're gonna wanna leave it on the
Yes.
side of the building,
Yep.
or just push it more toward the front,
Yep.
whatever, however it's gonna be more
Tuck it away.
balanced or tucked away,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
now,
So-
one other question I have is, the liability insurance, will that cover if that makes any ruts in that in the lawn? To cover
I
that?
don't think that's gonna make,
I'm
ruts.
just saying.
no, I don't think it's gonna make anything that we couldn't roll out.
Okay,
Do you?
And when I was
I mean, and if it does, then
okay.
that's what the liability insurance is for.
talking to Chris, it's the 40-foot lift, and he said we could park it in one spot and basically maybe leave it there or not, but be able to get the whole reach of the wall. So we could even put a piece of plywood under the tires or something to make sure if it rains, they don't, erode away a little bit.
All right.
And then the other question, electricity and water.
I was wondering about the spigot stillcock that's coming out.
I think there used to be. I'll have to check it for you.
Yeah.
It still has.
Water would be great.
I don't know that you're gonna get electrical without the building being open, but you did say you had a generator.
Makes
correct?
sense, yes.
So
Yep.
I can check that spigot. I know it did used to work,
All right,
but I'll check the inside plumbing. It might be something that we have to turn on.
probably on the
For you-
inside. There's a,
for it to be-
hopefully if it's
yes.
on, there's a valve, yeah.
Yes,
Excellent. Thank you.
Anything else?
I can check with that.
We got a historian's article this past week that we're excited about. We'll forward it on to you, Nancy, and
It's very
yeah, we're
nice.
excited to get started.
Yeah.
Any other questions from you? A motion to, this, replacing this on biology is giving me
No,
permission.
I would say that you motion to agree with the start date, with, you can voice Amber's concern with the 19th hopefully being complete. There may, if they're not completed, then we'll have to work with them to come up with some other kind of
Yeah, I make a
So we
motion
would just not have them work
to
on that.
approve, and then you guys give the schedule to Nancy, hopefully you finish up by the 19th. Cause I know you said you only have the lift for a certain amount of days, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Right, they're gonna wanna get out
Yeah.
of there as fast as
It's,
we
Yeah.
want
the,
this to
the
wrap
lift
up
isn't
as
cheap,
well.
so we wanna get it done.
Right.
yeah, I make a motion to approve and just let her know the schedule.
Okay.
Awesome.
Will do.
Commissioner Burns made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Barris. All in favor, say aye.
I,
And can you guys make one other motion for us to work until 11? If you
Oh,
guys
that's-
deem that.
That's all part of
I
it.
It's all
was
part of
gonna
it?
say,
Awesome.
part of it,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
So you
Thank
can
you.
start that.
Yeah.
Just give her the schedule and
Yeah.
just don't go
Awesome.
past it.
Thank you.
Got
No
it.
problem.
Thanks,
She's like, I don't
guys.
wanna have to come back.
Item I, additional information regarding the original request submitted by Chelsea Stevenson regarding the event she requested regarding a food distribution event at Kennedy Park, Broadway. She has added additional activities for her event schedule for September 23rd, 2023.
No, that's the girl, the next item.
I was gonna say, no, Chelsea's not here.
Yeah.
So she's added these items on your, I know that she spoke with Joey. It was originally just going to be a food distribution. Now there's, a table with food and snacks, a farm stand, a porta potty. So I don't know if you want this to get the sign off. Because if it's just a food distribution, we normally
Yeah.
don't do anything like that. I guess when she spoke to Commissioner De Silva, it was a little bit more. Do you wanna elaborate on that, Joey? Cause she didn't speak
Yeah,
to me
'cause-
about what it was.
At first, because her company is sponsoring this event, but then I guess there's other agencies that are gonna be involved in this as well. And that agency reached out to me to see if they could use our equipment from on my job now, and I said, no, we don't do that. But Chelsea said that her company already has, it's like 10 or 20 pop-up tents and everything like that. So when it's like that, all other organizations have to go through that sign-off process. So if it's gonna be an event like this, then rather just giving out food, I think they have to do that, because if not, somebody can come back at us saying, you didn't let her do it, have her do it, so. I think it's just the right way to do it, if it's gonna be this much more, and having all these agencies there and that, we need to have the sign off.
I mean, with a food distribution, you usually don't charge them
Yeah.
for the park,
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, because they're trying to do a good thing there with the food distribution. I don't know, I didn't speak to her, so I don't know if this is turning into just an informational event. Is that what it is, an informational event?
I was gonna
with
say, it
food
kinda seems
distribution?
like that's what it is.
Yeah, that's from what I'm reading.
But then it also has a DJ and everything else, so it's different stuff. It's almost pretty much a combination of what Commissioner Burns' event does too, a little bit. Not with the sports part of it and everything, but I would still
That's the
say,
board's decision.
you know, if everybody else has to do it, we still have to have them do it.
I mean,
And
at this
they
point,
have
does
time.
she need a liability
They have-
I was
policy?
gonna
There's
say,
there's
yeah.
a lot going on here, much more than food
Yeah.
distribution.
Well, I would say her organization, I don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna be a problem with Tufts Health.
And I think we have to go through the proper channels, especially because they're gonna have, as soon as I saw porta potty, I was like, that kind of changes everything
Yep.
as well.
Okay, so they're gonna do a civic events form,
Yes.
correct?
Mhm.
What about the fee?
Should get the policy.
She's gonna need a policy.
Mhm.
Okay.
I feel like at this point, like, is there a way that we could, like, can we make the motion to like waive fees for like community events versus like,
I think you have to take them one by one because of just,
how much is the fee?
it's like $125?
I honestly don't,
What are the hours of this event? Did she tell you? Because I don't have the hours. I mean, if it's a 2-hour event,
I was gonna say, we
that's not a big
previously
deal. But if
approved
it's
it.
a 10 to 6 event, then it's a big deal. You're utilizing the park for a set number of hours.
I don't know what the time is, but I know
Exactly.
she did say that the porta potty's gonna be there from Saturday to Monday
That was the
to
other
get
thing.
picked up.
Well, a lot of times the porta potties, they
Yeah.
don't just drop off and pick up the
And-
same day, so
And
that's,
she's gonna either use a wire tie or a lock. I would suggest then probably put a lock, because
yeah.
now anybody can go in there and ransack.
Well,
that
the
thing.
porta potty question, I via email forwarded her to the health department.
Yep.
that's who's gonna make that decision of if a porta potty can stay there for 3 days. Because if it tips over, then it becomes a concern.
Yep.
You know, gets.
Well, and if Tufts Health is sponsoring this, I don't think the 125 is that big of a
No, I
deal.
don't think it's gonna be a problem either. Because she's been giving out grants to everybody.
Yeah.
She gave me one, so.
So do we wanna see, like, put a time, like if it's a 2-hour event, it's not.
I think she owes you some details, right? If you're gonna go back to her and tell her we need these things.
What did her original request have? Did it, I must have times
The
on there,
ori-
'cause we approved it.
The original thing was just food
Was just
distribution,
food
and that other
distribution, so it was like a
organization
couple of hours, I think.
contacted me saying, oh, it was gonna be this, and when I reached out to her, she's like, oh, no, it's this and that, I don't know why they're reaching out to you. It comes through me, I'm like, I have no
This
problem.
is, what's the date, September 23rd?
23rd, she's got
Well,
time.
I mean, you got another month, I can get
Yeah.
this information
Sure.
and, I mean, I know she probably wants to move on it,
Yeah.
but, I mean, she,
Or can we just?
I asked her to come today, she couldn't get a babysitter.
I was gonna say,
Well, if she can, yeah, and if she can get you the stuff for, the next meeting,
Right.
we can approve it.
I don't wanna table it.
I was
because
gonna say,
then
why
it's
don't we
gonna
just
hide-
approve it with the
hide them all.
stipulation that it comes back to us if it's a 6+
'Cause we
hour
already
event?
approved it, we just-
Well, I mean, the other thing you can do is, the board has no problem with approving your event. You will need the sign off, you
Yeah.
will need whatever, and based on the information you provide us, you may need to pay that 125.
Right.
And
Okay.
we can do that, the board can determine if she owes that fee.
I would
At
rather
the next
not table it just because of the
Yeah.
fact that even though
You
it's
gotta
a
plan.
month plus, like you have to plan it and that can take up.
And not only that, I think part of, was it Samantha's job is to help them with that, getting through all
Well,
the,
and
so
like,
maybe she can reach
like
out to
BJ
Sam.
said, if Tufts is sponsoring this,
Yeah.
this should not be a big deal.
Yeah, the
And-
one-
and-
right.
And I'll be honest with you, it would do away with us having to say, oh, we did it for them, no, we didn't
Yeah.
for
Right.
you. So I say, my advice probably would be to follow your lead and go, yeah, we have the 125 Tufts.
What I was saying is, if she works with Sam in the mayor's office about the sign-offs and that, she might be able to assist her with that, because I know she's not in the city all the time. She travels around the state,
Yeah.
so she might.
Because they're gonna need to probably buy an insurance policy too.
Absolutely.
So
They
that's
have to buy a
another,
policy.
I'm sure Tufts has it, they just have to add it on.
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright,
it's,
I approve with the stipulation that she contacts.
We'll get additional
Yeah,
information
and
that
if-
may change the
Correct.
fees or whatever for, but I mean, if we're gonna.
Yeah, and we can bring it back, put it on the agenda for
Right, if
next
there's a
month
cha-
and,
well,
If there's a change.
If there's, all right, why don't we do this? 125, liability policy, civic events form. If anything changes, she can come back to the meeting and appeal her, the board's decision at the September meeting. But it allows her to plan her event.
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. Who made Amber made
I
that
made
motion?
that motion.
Seconded by Commissioner Farias. Commissioner Burns made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Item J, request from Regional Field Manager of the Girl Scout of Southeastern Southeastern New England to hold a recruitment event at Ruggles Park, Pine Street on August 15th or 16th.
It might be Ann. I might have another title.
No, it's just what I promised.
Are you, from Florida?
No, I'm not.
Do we have to make a motion to waive the rules?
Make a motion to waive the rules. Second.
Commissioner Farris made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Rego, sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Go ahead, just
Hi.
say your name and address to the record.
Hi, my name is Natalie Almeida, 181 King Philip Road, Rumford, Rhode Island. So I just wanted to come to you today to ask if we could potentially use Ruggles Park as a recruitment event for Girl Scouts of Southeastern New England. I work primarily for the Massachusetts cities and towns, and there has been a very heavy want and need for Girl Scouts in Fall River, and being able to recruit and give girls the access and opportunity to be able to check Girl Scouts out. We would be holding the event on the 15th from 4 to 7. It would just be like a simple, like, hey, like, come and get some flyers. We have the playground. We'll have like bubbles, painting rocks, different like nature activities such as like a nature bracelet, things like that. It's just kind of a time for parents to come and check out, and girls can kind of like come and ask me questions if they have any interest, and if they want to sign up, they can sign up right then and there. And it's also an opportunity for me to be able to find volunteers within the Fall River community to have, you know, leaders and volunteers, and to have more access for Girl Scouts in Fall River.
Is there a specific reason you're doing it during the week?
So we're just doing it during the week, as like that's something that we usually do our events during the week. We find that during the summer, like events on Saturdays and Sundays, like people are just not able to come to. So holding it from like 4 to 7 gives the opportunity for kids who are staying home from camp to come after. Also gives time for parents to come after work to come and check it out as well.
How are you advertising this?
We advertise it more so through the community and also through our own social media and advertisement as well.
I was just saying is, I know you said Ruggles Park, but
Yeah.
I know that park's not that
Yeah.
busy. I was just thinking, the guys that we had in the first agenda, girls softball,
Yeah.
you go by there, you probably
I
get a
was
bunch
gonna
of
say,
girls.
also like the event we're having on the 19th, we actually have the Boy Scouts that come on the 19th.
Okay, yep, that-
There's a lot of people, but obviously it's a Saturday. but
Yeah.
There's
No,
a
no.
lot of people that go there, so if
Yeah.
that's something you would, if you wanted to be on the.
So are you saying for me to have like a table at your event?
Yeah,
Is
so
that
it'd be
what?
like, you could put like a tent up, or you could
Okay.
have like a whole space.
Let me
But-
just double check.
I don't know if I just like took over this.
No, you're totally fine.
But
That's
there's a lot of people there, so that's why I just figured.
yeah. No, I appreciate it. So we actually do have volunteers going to that event.
Oh,
This
okay.
is so the thing is like I know it's kind of wonky when it comes from like council to like community events. So that's actually more of like a community volunteer event where
Gotcha.
community like that's where like volunteers and leaders would go because they're the people that know the faces of the community. Me, it's more like I'm coming in from like an organizational level to say like, hey, I would love to get my numbers up in this community. This is a community that we kind of have it rated as like a, you know, a need community that, you know, was traditionally a very big Girl Scout community that has now post-COVID like kind of dissipated, and we want to bring that back.
So I guess what they're asking is, what made you choose Ruggles?
To be honest, I just did a couple like, you know, Google searches and research and found that it was kind of a centrally located park that has, you know, a playground, and is, again, like you said, it's not necessarily busy, so that's also another area that we would like to explore too, to be like, hey, you know, either you could have a troop meeting here, or you could have, you know, a community camp out here, different things like that as well too.
Is that ice cream place still open too?
I believe so.
Oh, yeah, okay. There's an ice cream shop right across the
Yeah,
street.
yeah, yeah. So it's kind of just an event. It's just a simple recruitment event. There's no kind of like fee or registration or
You're just
anything.
gonna set up a table in like a 10 by 10.
Yep.
10
That's all it is. It's just kind of like very simple, couple of hours. Girls come and get to check it out to kind of like bring Girl Scouts to Fall
I'm gonna
River.
say too, we have his Greater Fall River Recreation.
Yep, and
Has
I've
their lunch
also
program there, maybe they can advertise for you too a little
Yep,
bit. and
yep.
give
I've
out
already actually reached out to them.
as they
We
give out the
actually
lunches.
were at the last event that they were at
Okay,
too.
guys, I just want my Ruggles Park.
Yeah.
What's up?
Motion to approve.
No, it's okay.
Get her as much many
No,
people as
no. Trust me,
possible.
I appreciate it as possible.
Hey,
And
we
if
got like, you know, the first group saying like, there's nothing for girls to do, we're trying to help them out.
no, I appreciate it. And if you all know of any other way for
Cheryl
us
giving me
to
dirty
like
eyes
promote it and
over
everything like that, I'm more than happy to give you my contact to be able to do that, because that helps me so much, because it is kind of like a struggle.
Yeah, okay.
All right, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Commissioner McDonald made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you so
Just
much.
work with this method.
Thank you. And if you know any girls, you can send them my way.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put Commissioner Rigo and Commissioner Burns in charge of that. What?
You got that.
Recruiting girls for Girl Scouts.
I got enough on my plate, I don't need no more.
You can give out plums. Item K.
We did that one.
Oh, sorry, I apologize. Victor screwed me up. Take me out of order. Item L. Request from Captain Furtado regarding the use of Brooklyn Park, Wardell Street for the annual Police Palooza event on September 21st from 4 PM to 6 PM. This is an annual event with the police. I know last year it got canceled because of rain or
I have
something.
one question to ask.
Motion to approve.
Whoa. Just one question. Commissioner
What does
Burns?
palooza mean? Like, is there like a dunk tank?
No, isn't
No,
it like
it's just-
Lollapalooza? It's
I don't know, I hear
it's just-
palooza and I'm thinking like
No,
water
no.
and.
No, they've
Oh,
done, they've
Like
done this,
Aquapalooza, I don't
they've
know
done
if
this
that-
event,
Yeah,
they've
wasn't
done,
there just Aquapalooza in
Yeah.
Rhode Island,
Yeah.
and that's Lolla, it's
They've
like
done
a
this-
party, so to
Oh,
speak.
okay.
they've done this event with all the police
All
out
kind of
there, it's a
games.
community
Listen,
event
don't you
that.
have Siri? Ask her.
Oh, if I ask Siri about palooza, you're not gonna like the results.
They
Oh,
do,
nice.
they've done this event,
Yeah,
annually
but-
over the years and that, and it's just the police department putting it on, they invite different agencies down there and that, and it's during, I think, National Night Out Against Crime and everything.
Okay, alright.
All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to
Commissioner
approve.
Regal is gonna make that motion, seconded by
Second.
Commissioner Farias, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item M, request for the schedule of tryouts/games at Britland Park, Soccer Field, Wardell Street for Diamond High School, boys and girls soccer. I know, Mr. Bailey submitted this schedule,
Yeah,
he's
and
the athletic
I was,
director.
I think he also, had mentioned in a previous email that he also wanted to use Travasos, did I say Travasos?
Yes, you said
just
for practice.
For
Yeah.
practices
Yep.
as well.
All right, so games at Britland and practices at Tavassos.
Mm-hmm.
And tryouts will be at Britland, correct?
So I'll work it out with Mr. Bailey. I don't think he's gonna get to be able to use every night for
Mhm.
practice, but we can see what
Yeah.
Okay.
the schedule permits as far as the practice, because there are people at Travassos practicing.
Okay.
And the tryouts and that, we'll try and, I think there's one day that might conflict with, Forever Youth, which is coming up on the next, but we'll work that out.
Okay. I make a
How long, just before, do you know how many years, like, is there something thinking long-term? Are they not gonna have fields over there? Like,
I don't know, but prior to them, Durfee was there.
right.
So we're lucky we're
Yeah.
kind of lucky they didn't overlap.
I'm just curious to make your life easier for next year. Is there a,
Yeah, we
whatever,
don't
but it
know.
doesn't
I mean,
matter.
And in the past, BCC has used those fields as well for their soccer teams, but I don't know if they're fielding teams as well, but, we just kind of crossed the bridge.
Because when I get this, as long as there's no conflicts, I have no problem with it,
You
but
don't get
that's,
schedules, like the schedules are done like a few months before the season starts, so that's the only reason. So if we had the schedules for next year, then yeah, she could be like, block those off, but
right,
I don't think
Yeah,
that's even
no, I think they
available.
don't know who they're playing, it all depends,
right.
you know, who's available.
I
If,
know-
like the softball people, do they field the team?
Right.
I know when he spoke to me, he said that if there was any conflicts in that, he could work with the YMCA and Swansea and everything. But I don't think he'd have to do that. I think maybe if these other communities, you have Westport, Somerset, and Swansea, I'm sure they can let him use one of the high school fields or something once a week or something like that. Like,
Right.
the city of Florida shouldn't have to, for a regional school, be just a thing. The other
The
three
sole
towns have to
supporter
help
of
out
the
too.
program.
Yeah, they have to help out too. And it's not, he's doing the best he can.
Yeah, no, I
They need
get
to
it.
step up too.
Absolutely.
I make a motion to approve if it's available.
Yep.
Second.
Hey, Commissioner Regal made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Burns. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item N, Fall River Youth Soccer League, proposed Friday night schedule of games at Britland Park Soccer Field, Wardell Street.
I make a motion to approve and Nancy works out the schedule and any overlaps and she communicates them, that's it, they find a new.
Now, I know it says youth soccer. This is the young girls team, right? The girls team, whatever?
Right.
That we
yes,
were
they
talking
have-
about.
They have travel teams as well, but they haven't submitted those schedules yet.
But this is the one that, like, the actual girls for the league, that we were talking about lights. With lights for games and that.
Girls, where you getting, this is both.
Oh, okay, for both, but I'm just saying, all right, I'm talking about this is for,
This is their regular youth soccer. That-
Okay.
This is not their premier soccer.
no,
team.
because I know we were
Regular
working
teams.
on lights, I just want to make sure that this board knows, we want to make sure that we provide them lights too, like we do with Little League.
Yeah, I guess that was my only
Right.
question too.
Because
Well,
it's,
So the board knows I did have a
Yeah.
timer installed at Britland. So for Friday nights, we'll have to, we'll put the timer on. If we
Well,
don't
does,
give
I
up.
was gonna say, don't they just shut off at the 9:15 like the rest of them?
Right, but because of the type of timer they are, if we put them on a Friday, they're gonna stay on all weekend.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, unless, I mean, I don't know.
Well, here's the dilemma. This is
Or
the-
I can give the league a key.
Here's the dilemma, is because if we don't do this for them, we've done this for all these other little leagues, done all that, and now it's been, some people have been getting lights for adults for pickleballs or tennis courts and everything. How fair is this to these kids or to?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's questioning they
No, 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 I'm
whether they
just
should
saying,
have
I
lights
want
or
you
not.
guys to know
Yeah, yeah, it's
What's
just.
going on?
So I think we can start with lighting this field for the weekends. And if I can put the lights on 7 days a week, they're on 7 days a week at the pickleball court, they're on 7 days a
Yeah.
week at
Oh,
the,
so you're saying if you put it on a Friday night, it's gonna then turn on Saturday night?
because it's like
'Cause
a
it's
timer
just
with
you-
pins.
Got
It's
it.
like that old school,
yeah,
you
yeah.
just plug it in.
You know, it's
Okay.
not programmed, but
Mhm.
I have to tell you, the lights that we are putting, that we put down the pickleball court and at Maplewood Park are fantastic. They, you program them on your computer. I could, if you said, something needs to be changed, I could go in and change it, and then,
So.
I think the city of Fall River should make, as we talked about, premier fields, and light your premier fields, and permit out your premier fields to multiple
Mm.
organizations, and that lighting will pay for itself if we institute this whole thing like everybody's been saying, because that lighting is fantastic. All of your lighting in the city's parks are ancient.
That's what the Maplewood's gonna have, right?
That's what Maplewood has.
Yes.
So these fields though, it's open, so if somebody on the weekend wants to use them, they can?
It would be open house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's nice though, like if people wanna play a pickup soccer game, like I'm not one of them, but if people do,
Right,
they can go
and
and
we
play
just
like a
gotta
night
hope that
game
it
on the
doesn't
weekend.
attract bicycles and all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause it's a brand new
Riffraff.
field, right?
Not anymore.
No.
No, it really
It
does
definitely
need
needs
work.
to get redone.
A lot of things, it does need work, and that's why the board was cutting back with
The
the
practices.
practices to try to just preserve what was left in the life of this field. So, and I have to bring up to the board that I did receive a request today from someone looking for practices at Britland. I did respond to them that the previous vote of the board was that that would be strictly for games. I will lead them toward Travassos, but there is limited time there as well, because we're gonna reach a point where every night Travassos is being used, and that's a grass field.
I'm gonna say, but then it's all, but isn't Britland taken up for the most part too, for games? No? When you're doing like the schedule for like Diamond, when you add all of that in, even with the youth? Oh, wait, this is only on.
The
No,
youth's just
it-
Friday
it-
nights and
it
then
ends up
Diamonds once or
primarily
twice a
that
week.
when these organizations are taking 6 and 8 hours, it's not for games,
Mm,
it's for practice.
Lord.
They have them blanket permits,
Right.
and then they.
I guess that's the,
We have a
the
permit
issue
until
though, is you
someone
don't want the
can
field
pop it off.
sitting empty and not being used,
Well,
but you
well,
also,
no,
it's like
there
the
are
wear and
a
tear.
ton of people over there, some ruly, some that not so cooperative, I guess is the word, but, I think the board next, we're gonna have to consider permitting out these fields, because I think it almost maintains them more, because you get them used for the correct activity by the correct people. When we open them up like this carte blanche, we
Mm.
really don't have control over who goes in. But the problem, we can't have a monopoly either, so we have to come to
Right.
a happy medium. You can't have one group have a monopoly, and that's what was starting to happen. So I think that's when the board, via the city council, is like, we need to repurpose fields, which is exactly what we're doing with the softball thing. We're repurposing those old baseball fields that weren't gonna be used to now hopefully generate new life for the softball league. So I think for now, the lights will go on for the weekend and see how that goes. It may go good, we may we'll know how it's going. Within this time frame of a month.
Probably by the next meeting, because the first game's August 25th.
Do we need a motion?
I have
Yeah, you need a
I have
motion to
one-
accept their games.
One question. Charlie, do you have any guys that work at night?
No.
Nobody. I was just saying, I didn't know if you had emergency guys, and say, if they could just go by on a Friday night and shut it
That's
off.
a
but-
union thing too.
I know, but I'm just,
So unfortunately, that, we're gonna have to try it.
Yep.
Or you can give that lead the key and they gotta turn it in on the.
no, I don't wanna do that.
I make a motion that we try this out.
It would be a trial period.
Yep.
Commissioner Rego made that motion, seconded by,
Second.
We have to accept this.
You're gonna
Yeah.
accept the game schedule.
okay, except,
And
yes.
we're gonna put the lights on for Friday night.
Yep.
And we will leave them on for the weekend.
And
see
then Monday, somebody will turn them off, so then it won't be on Monday through Thursday, they'll just be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Unless the board wants them on every night.
No.
I mean, we're kind of saying two things. We're saying in one breath, we're lighting courts, pickleball, whatever. You wanna light that court 7 days, that field 7 days a week, we could do that too. If it turns into a ruckus, then you pull it back.
My thing is, you're gonna end up starting to have people practice in there and that, which we don't want that. We're telling they can't practice, and we can leave lights on there 7 days a week, then we're gonna have that.
Well, by the time these people are gonna start using it for October, November, December, it's gonna be dark at 5
Right.
o'clock. Because they use it clear through, I think, November.
Yeah, this is the end of October on here.
So it's the board's pleasure. Do you wanna put them on for the weekend, or do you wanna put them on for the week?
I think for now, we just start the weekend and then we revisit when the
That's
winter
I
comes.
think that's what Helen was.
Yep.
On a trial basis.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I just
let's,
wanna make sure we include the schedule in the motion so that someone doesn't come back and say, hey.
Yep. So
So you're approving this,
I made the motion, we try it for the,
you're gonna make the motion to approve the schedule and do the trial with the lights.
yes, I made the motion to schedule
Yeah.
and for, try out the lights for the weekend.
Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Rego made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Commissioner inquiries.
So it's still no practice, just so I understand too, because Mr. Pacheco called me on that email this morning, and it's only my third meeting, so I don't know the whole history. But the field was so that I can explain to him or talk to him, that field at Britland was kind of getting too much use. So the board dialed it back to just have games for now, and it might be revisited in the future based on how things go in the next month or so.
and we're not saying that they can't go there and play there, but we're
Right.
not permitting it out to particular organizations, because then it was.
Got it.
used constantly. Now, I don't know if, they're interested in Travassos, but I'm hoping he gets back to me with what I sent to him. I think I copied you on that response as well.
Yeah, and I told him to communicate with you and that I would, ask the board what had historically happened there,
Yeah.
just so that I could let him know, but fair enough.
All right. Any other question, Commissioner inquiries? No? All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Farias made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Rio. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, can you shut these off? I need to talk to the guy.